Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. Salford in Greater Manchester. You may remember the story of Paul Massey. I covered the murder and also the gang war that took place before and after his death. But it seems from what the papers are saying and the police is that this hasn't stopped. This war hasn't slowed down in any way, shape or form. The Manchester Evening News reports on several shootings that have happened this week, and the police are saying that this is so serious it's got out of hand, and it's the highest level of gang war since the Gooch and Doddington rivalry back in the 80s, 90s and 2000s, sometimes renaming themselves and coming back as a younger and more powerful group. It says a number of shootings has reached the highest level in a decade. They say a 6-year feud has been going on between the A team and the anti-A team, and this is the root of the crisis. It's taken the number of shootings in Greater Manchester to levels unseen for more than 10 years. On Saturday, a gunman opened fire on Weaste Lane near the junction with Willows Road. Since there was 3 shootings in Wigan last year and 1 in Leigh this year that was also linked to the Salford dispute. The figures are from April to April, and so far in 2019 till 2020 there has been 74 shootings, 17 people that were injured in these shootings across Salford. This is the most since 2009, where there was 84 shootings in 1 year. Offshoots of the Gooch and Doddington gang were engaged in a tit-for-tat battle back then, and this resulted in the death of a number of men. Greater Manchester Police launched an anti-gang unit called Excalibur, and they used the unit to try and stop gun crime. After the South Manchester Doddington Gooch gangs broke up a bit, they then moved into Salford, and shortly after this followed the death of Paul Massey back in July 2015, and also the shooting of a 17-year-old where members of the A team were convicted for that crime. The shootings continued since, and worryingly, gangland code doesn't appear to apply anymore in Salford. A string of incidents has proved that women, children and innocent family members are no longer immune from the violence. It seems that the rivals are now deliberately targeting the relatives of gang members in shootings and also car bombings. Some of the firearms that the police have covered from these gangs are serious artillery, the semi-automatic weapons. Police have made 200 arrests and 13 firearms in 2019 to try and disrupt Salford's organised crime gangs. But the growing concern for law-abiding citizens and members of the public. A gunman opened fire on Willows Road on Saturday, and the local residents said this is out of control. The police were even asked if they'd lost control of the streets. It's actually got that bad where people don't even think the police are in control of the streets anymore. Since July last year, the police have made 17 arrests in regard to discharges of firearms in the Salford area, and some of them cases are still pending. Since January 2019, this is the amount of shootings that have occurred. There was a shooting in Duchy Road, a shooting in Howard Street, Salford, a shooting on February the 12th where an A-team member was shot 3 times while he was watching TV on Duchy Road also. April the 30th, a dad was shot at traffic lights in Eccles New Road, and his 11-year-old son was sitting behind him. On July the 11th, 2019, a gunfight in Liverpool Street between a man on a motorbike and a man in a Renault Megane. August the 17th, seen shots fired at a house on Barton Street. August the 18th, seen shots fired at a house on Coronation Street in Swinton. September the 1st, a house in Ordsall was shot at. A house in Quayview was shot at. On September the 3rd, a Black Galaxy was shot at. On October the 17th, shots were fired in Quayview again. December the 18th, shots were fired at the Swan minicabs in Church Street. Shots were fired on the 19th, the day after, on Winston Pub in Churchill Way. January the 3rd, 2020, sees shots fired in Pendleton as well. January the 13th, 2020, seen a hitman shot in Winton. February the 9th, 2020, seen a house shot with bullets in Salford. And February the 19th, seen a house shot in Murray Street in Higher Broughton. And February the 22nd, seen the most recent shooting on Weaste Lane. And 3 other shootings outside of Salford were also connected to gangs in the local area. So as you can imagine, the police are just trying to not get embarrassed. So I really want to hear what people have to say on this story as well. And if you haven't seen the Paul Massey documentary I did, please go and check that out as well. I'll leave a link in this video after. So I really appreciate you joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back again soon with some more street news. Peace.